Good evening, everyone. Switch Double here, as usual. And yeah, it's another Friday and another week has just started, or just about to end. And it's just early enough, April actually. April has this also so far this April has been quite of actually not too bad. With the temperature rising, the trees are start blowing out. The leaves are popping out. The flowers popping off the ground. For the past week or so, at least where I live, it had been decent weather actually. The bit of it around had been quite of a decent temperature, but this morning when I woke up, it just apparently had been snowing a lot. At least about I think it was maybe it's around 7 or 8 inches of snow. I was quite surprised because earlier the week there was no signs of snow anywhere. And I mean, this week had just been no snow in sight, but just last night or early this morning, it has snowed, but now it's melting away. I was quite surprised. But though it's not unusual that it can snow in April, it's not like unheard of. Though I was really surprised. And my dad told me that we might have to expect quite a temperature sometimes next week. I was really surprised. He said something it came down to almost 64 degrees. I'm a little bit skeptical about that. I mean, 69, almost 70 degrees in April? Yeah, I'm kind of a little skeptical. But I would say, I wouldn't mean saying like maybe late 50s and maybe early 60s degrees. More likely, but it's almost 70? Well, that would have been like a record. Though, like I said, snow in April, not unusual, at least when I live. If I live in the north, well, April there up there, it's usually snow can like remain until, well, I think maybe it's May or something, but yeah, it's not unlikely though. But yeah, pretty much no. Snow in April is not unusual where I live. Uh, well, it's for the most part, but anyways, we have this guy in here.
Mm,
I remember at least one time from what my parents told me that this was around it was actually around the same month though, but I don't know for precise part of the month if it was early or mid or late April. But I'm only told that was just I was probably around I think between 5 or 6 years old. I was still in this type of preschool in my hometown. That was after, even though I moved to a different uh, county, but I was still in this preschool for a while though. But about 1 or 2 weeks earlier, there have been quite of a warm temperatures, spring weather, and all that. But just 1 week later, it was has snowing the middle of the night, and even my dad had changed from winter tire to summer tires, and so yeah, he had been driving on the main highway quite slower than usual. Well, and the day the preschool actually called home and asked why I even showed up. Well, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if you're driving a car with summer tires, if it had been snowing, even though the day before and even during that week, it had been quite, there was no snow in sight. And then suddenly, the day before I went to preschool, it had snowed. I don't know exactly how much, but I would give a guess maybe less than 10 inches. But it's exactly how much I don't know. I had even really even asked. though that's so long ago. So I don't know if even my parents would even remember exact amount of snow, but it's not unlike though. But snowing here, middle of the like during sometimes in June, now that is really rare, almost unheard of. I remember that when I was in school, a classmate's assistant told me when he was in a little bit more, a little bit further up north, not all the way up, but more as maybe halfway up. This was around June. I don't remember exact day. He didn't even tell me, but it was during a Swiss holiday called Midsummer. The day before, he and his friends wakes up the next morning. It had snowed only a few inches of snow, and this was like in June. I was what middle of the summer? No, I would not be surprised if it actually happened. So, yeah, that's pretty much what that happened. But summer and snow, yeah, it's well, at least where I live, it is very unusual if that happened. I'm pretty sure it would have been preferred the same for you, though, game guy. Wouldn't?
Hmm?
Would it be unusual if there's snow where you live in the middle of the summer?
Uh, I'd say yes, but it's technically spring. It kind of snowed yesterday, so that
No, no, no,
happened.
no. I mean, has it snowed where you live during the summer?
Nope.
If that happened, I was like, well, that's new. Have you seen any crazy videos on YouTube lately?
Nah.
I actually have today and a few days ago. There was this guy who actually adopted a former police dog, and this was more like a short video. You know those short ones that only last for a few seconds, something like that. He made this shopping list like bread, milk, pasta, eggs, mayo, and cocaine. The last one is the what the dog reacted to, because it turned out that that dog was a former canine that was used to find certain drugs like cocaine, heroin, and he remembers the word cocaine about how he reacted to it. It's kind of funny to see how this guy, the new owner, um, well, reading up a shopping list like bread, milk, pasta, egg, and mayo, the most common used items, and the dog gets no reaction at all. When the guy says the last one, cocaine, and has a reaction, I was like, okay. I mean, if this guy, if this is the title, then say that if there was not a mention that he's a former police dog, if there was like no mention that, I would have been a bit surprised. Okay, why were the dog not mentioned? If they had, like, say, if he had a steak part of the as a shopping list, that the dog would have reacted to that. Okay, that makes sense because dogs love steaks. I mean, who doesn't? And then if he reacted to cocaine, I mean, if a dog has been aware of the guy just rechecking his shopping list, those items that he's looking for, even though he's still at home, and the dog usually don't react to almost no anything. But if it is, I mean, if there was no, if this dog wasn't a former canine unit dog, and he just mentioned, and the owner mentioned cocaine, and the dog reacts to that, yeah, it would have been a little bit strange if the dog just reacted to that. But mentioning that this as a former canine dog, that the owner, the new owner, mentioned some of the most common things, and when he mentioned cocaine as the last item, I can understand why the dog reacted to it. If it was something else, like maybe dog treats or something like that, that can also be dog can actually react to. Because I saw this video about a couple of weeks ago. A cat who was laying in his bed or something like that, and the owner's like, "Are you hungry?" The cat immediately like wakes up and like start meowing for that. And I was like, okay, cats and dogs can react to certain words, even though some people are saying like, well, cats and dogs that really don't understand a single human word. Well, the fact is they can, even though they may not understand as much. In fact, I have seen videos of cats literally saying certain human words, but there was one cat saying, "Are you coming yet? Are you coming soon?" And the guy just looked around the corner, and the cat's like meowing as usual, and he's like, "What did you say?" I was really surprised. And then there is even another cat who is walking and just laying on the floor. It's like the owner says Kelly, and the cat's like, "What?" And you both show both owners like she says saying what? And they're like surprised. I seen cats that say mama, hello, hi, but there was one cat say, well, hi. So I'm really surprised that some cats can say maybe just one or maybe two human words, or even do just doing their usual cat sounds, but they can sound like a human word. I mean, we have had cats throughout the years, but none of them has never even done that. I know for a fact that cats, or at least dogs, can be trained for doing some tricks like sit, paw, uh, lay down, roll over, play dead. Cats, you can train cats for certain things, but since cats are more independent, it's not like you can actually try that. There are in fact some. Uh, I think even giraffes can be trained, but they usually forget so that after I think we're kind of after 3 hours or 3 days. So it's not like no. Um, I know that you're not a silly.
Okay, that's great. Hold on a second. Now is not the time. Sir, stop. Stop it.
Hmm. Oh well. Wonder who's gonna else showing up today. Roy is not joining in because he's unavailable. So and who else? Who else joining in? Hmm.
Dogs. They'll do anything for you except for leave you alone. Anyway.
I know that you don't like fish.
I'll do it later.
Um, have you heard of the fish called coelacanth?
Nope.
Well, as is, well, let's say it's a prehistoric fish. But would you eat anything that is shaped as a fish?
No. No.
I mean, it's not like any actual fish, but more like shape as a fish, like a pastry.
God, my my throat's all raspy. Probably not.
Hmm. I probably would. If there was a donut shaped as a fish or a starfish, probably. Would you eat squirrel?
Nope.
Me either. Have you ever seen a flying squirrel by chance?
I have not.
Me either. They don't even name it in my country though. But squirrels itself, despite there are tons of forests where I live, they're pretty scarce. I only saw like one couple about last month or so. Squirrels itself is not that they're really more common, but flying or gliding squirrels are not a native to my country, but I would like to see one. They'd be pretty cool. Bats, no, that's another way is an animal. I have not seen like a live one in person, but I've heard some of them flying around. And even my old school, when I was in 7th to ninth grade, we're alleged to have some bats living on the attic. If that's true or not, I don't know. But
Oh, right, the
yeah,
medicine.
bats is more like a normal animal like it's I can actually handle. But throughout history, that's been many different new species of bats, like flying dogs or something like that. Or when it comes to like cryptids, there are supposed to be many uh, type of bats cryptids like bat squatch or even a ghoul is supposed to be a giant version of a bat. Like its wingspan, if I remember correctly, it's about 10 or 15 feet. That's that's a pretty big bat, or that's a pretty bad. That's a pretty big bat. But yeah, it's something though. But I would have been scared if I saw a bat that was probably like a feet long wingspan. But if it was a spider, yeesh, now that's that would have been pretty shocked. Um, I know for a fact that if there was a spider that was either 1 feet or even 6 feet across, if its legs were spread out, I know one thing. There's one certain group of people that were being pretty terrified, and that's people who has spider or arachnia phobia, like my girlfriend, Figos. If she saw a spider that was 6 feet across, she'd be like, hell no, where's my freaking flamethrower? Or she probably would use her dad's old hunting rifles. She still has some of the guns and some of the ammo still in her house or home, even though some of them actually being tried to be sold off. Makes sense. At least I know for the fact that if there was a spider that was 6 feet long and across, Fi Goddess, well, she would use her dad's old hunting rifle to kill it. I mean, she's terrified of spiders. Even the small, normal sized spider are, yeah, that's pretty bad otherwise, uh, but living in a place where there are terrifying spiders like uh, the Black Widow or something like that, even though I thought that Sweden used to have its own native, terrifying, poisonous, venomous spider, but turned out that spider isn't even that dangerous at all. Not even for humans. Unlike Australia, which has a handful of pretty poisonous snakes and spiders. Some of the most common, like the black widow, is not even native to my country, but it has been there some stories of people actually found a black widow in Sweden. But even though they're not native, but at least if I would saw a black spider with that type of hourglass shape on its body, I would immediately recognize that's a black widow. and I wouldn't try to do anything. Maybe I would probably try to capture it because they're dangerous. And first of all, I don't know if you're like if someone like, oh, I have been bitten a spider, and they go to the nearest hospital and like, oh, what type of spider you been bitten from? It was a black spider with this red marking on it, and they probably ask what if it's like a hour shaped glass. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's so dangerous because I don't know exactly how much time you have if you've been bitten by a black widow spider. If it's only 10 minutes, half an hour, or even just 2 minutes before it's dangerous. I don't even know. But but poison snakes in my country, well, there's only one. Even though we have three native species, but only one of them is poisonous. It had happened a few times at some reports of people dying from it, but it's not that uncommon though. I think it was last year. I think it was about 7 or 5 people that was bitten and ended up in a hospital. And that particular hospital ran out of this. Um, they ran out of the antidote of the poisoned snake. I don't remember if these people died from the snow poison snake's bites, but uh, Sweden's only known is have been a few handfuls of reports of being people dying from it, but not as much though. And the common story is that even live ones, even young ones that even like not even a full grown, are even more venomous or more poisonous than a full grown. But it's complete urban legend. It's not even real. Even though that snake is not even how to say it's protected by law, but it can be allowed to be killed if it's threatening someone that is nearby. I had only seen one in my entire life, but not a full grown. I've seen the second snake that we have in my country multiple times, but it's harmless. But it's pretty much known as if you were in Sweden, if you saw this snake, it's black with two yellow dots on its head. Yeah, if you saw it on the ground or swimming in the lake and it's swimming in the water next to you, I can understand it's terrifying, but it's
Hold on a
complete
sec.
harmless. I remember some years ago, and when with my sister, her ex, and my brother, and her and one of his exes, we were fishing, and there was this one spot. It was crowded with these snakes. I was probably I don't know 10 of them in one spot. So this kind of a little bit and my brother's ex, let's say she was terrified of the snakes. I understandable though, especially if you're swimming in a lake or rivers and those snakes are can't swim past you. Yeah, understandable. There is even one type of snake or lizard where I live. In my country, it's harmless, but this particular lizard has no legs. It reminds me of it kind of like a snake, but it's complete harmless. Even if you pick it up, part of its tail will just pop out. It's like a defense mechanism. It's complete harmless. And even though that Sweden may not have so much dangerous animals like poisonous, but we do have bears, wolverines, wolves. But at least where I live, there are no bears. And I haven't even been that like that for centuries, though, for at least about 300 years, give or take. Wolves, yeah, it have been some of them. Wolverines, not really. There hasn't even been anyone, as far as I can tell. Wolverines are most common up a little bit further up north. We do have, we do have, in fact, this big, uh, big wildcat. It's kind of resembles, uh, in in the same color code as a cougar or mountain lion. But the only difference is that this one has no tail, and it's also known for it's also easy to spot if this particular cat is a lynx and has a little bit type of fur, black fur on its ears. If you see one in the forest, don't worry, they usually takes off. They're pretty scared from humans. Wolves, now that's a different matter. They can be, uh, well, there have been a few reports of wolves attacking humans, but not as much at all. Uh, I remember a few years ago, one particular wolf was actually pretty close in a small community, not from far from where I live, but it was literally walking along the fence of a preschool or daycare, and it didn't show any fear for humans. But the local police had called in a hunter or some local hunters to track it down, and well, they eventually killed this particular wolf because it was apparently sick. And you don't mess around with sick animals or even hurt animals, particularly a predator like a wolf, a bear, or in any case anyone like that. Even though Sweden only have one type of bear, that's brown bears, and yeah, they are pretty big, unlike the grizzly bears. That is just one big bear. Oh, I got it. Yeah, it's not too bad, not too bad. Just as usual. Cody, have you ever heard of? Have you seen a video on YouTube? Where a guy having a dog reacting to certain item of a shopping list. Well, this guy reading in his shopping list that he's going to buy bread, milk, pasta, eggs, and mayo, and he mentions one other detail. And during when he's doing this shopping list, the dog doesn't react to any of the particular items except for the last one, cocaine. And the dog turned out to be a former canine unit. So that is why the dog reacted to it, because the dog is kind of like a cocaine bear, but this was more like the dog is, or a German Shepherd was a former canine that was like a sniffing dog for cocaine or heroin or like that, and this particular dog was retired, and well, basically that's just the new owner. He's just going through this list, and the dog was just assumedly it was watching TV. And but he's mentioned bread, egg, pasta, eggs, mayo. The dog just didn't react to any of those. But when he mentioned cocaine, the dog immediately looks at him like, huh? Like a confused look. I mean, when I first saw that, I was like, wait, okay. Even if the word mentioned a police dog in title, I was like, okay, why would the dog suddenly react to cocaine? If it were mentioned like dog treats, okay, the dog may have reacted to that, but even though cocaine is an item that stands out quite pretty much amazingly though out on the list, but how often do dogs otherwise react to the word cocaine? Unless you have been trained for that type of profession, like if there's a canine unit or even a dog for at the airport. But otherwise, normal dogs, if you're finding as a puppy training them, they usually don't, react to that. At least as far as I can tell. But uh what do you think of the story ideas I sent you yesterday? Well, I haven't even noticed any ideas. Sorry, it's just I haven't really checked on the comments. That's it. But yeah, I might just do that after stream is over. It just I haven't looked. It just let's say it have been another drama on Discord. Uh, yeah, it's long story short, I was not aware of that because it happened just shortly sometimes after I went to bed. When I was on the Discord the next day, I was like, what the hell just happened last night? Because when I went on Discord, it was like 25 notifications. Usually it's a lot of notifications, usually in a DM or in a group chat we are. I was like, this is not the first time. I was like, one time I had like 40 plus notifications from one DM and a few others from like Malachite and I think even Game Guide mentioned something, but that was like months ago. And it's not like that uncommon, but it turned out that Dashi was mentioning that that Malachite has their role playing they're doing like they're doing MLP role play. It happened that they were deleted, and but Malakat said that he hasn't deleted them at all from his side. But Dashi was just apparently from his end they have been deleted. And long story short, it turned out it's some like Dash's ex had hacked his Discord account, and apparently from what I could tell, at least from my understanding, is that his ex hacked his uh the account on Discord and even apparently on Facebook, hacked it in there, deleting the roleplay and some other things, and uh, said some things like on Discord and in the previous. Well, since GameGam made a new DM and that, which I was like, when I first read out, like, was like, what the f? Okay, I'm done. And has just trust me, it was like his phone had been bugged with the Android 12, and let's see what Malakan's like with capitals. He said, "You effing son of goddamn bastard, ass b word, f word of you asswipe." I was like, okay, what the hell did I walk up to get into this time? And I'll tell you, this is not the first time we had this type of drama on Discord. Uh, and honestly, I don't think this is the last one either. But if it happens again on Discord in a team group chat, I will just leave it and probably make a new one myself. And but yeah, but honestly though, I would not be surprised if this supposed hacking, at least alleged hacking of Dash's ex. Um, yeah, I'm saying this. It's not. I will say it's like entirely plausible if it's true. Um, it's more like maybe I don't say 50-50, more like a 60-40 chance that is actually just been Dashi the whole time, or it actually was his ex. I don't know. And he also Dashi left this group chat on Facebook, which me, Malachite, the twins from Robo Gamer and Godzilla 2000 are part of. He left that group chat. Oh, speaking of, the reason why the twins hasn't even been on my streams lately is they have been quite busy with their work. I forgot to mention that on Discord yesterday. So that's the reason. And I don't know why we haven't seen much of Polarizer or well, Polarize do have school and work and the same thing for Lord, but what was it? All right. Oh man, I forgot what was mentioned there. But right, Kuvu. Now we know that he has his karate or kung fu training and his school question mark. So that's another. I think maybe I would like that. And and Robert, I will look at the comments afterwards when the stream is over. So yeah, and honestly though, I actually saw this. They actually released the first Tell Your Tale special yesterday, and it was supposed to be released in March, but apparently it was released in April, and it was not even Easter themed, which I suspected at least at first. But and I kind of was surprised they added a new type of character, even a creature in this series. Some that actually have been used back in G4, a sea pony. But I don't know if this Cypod sea pony is the same one as from G4 that can turn into an hippogriff. If it's that one or it's a complete different sea pony, it's a 50-50 on this one. And I was quite surprised though, but I actually like it. Even I know Frank right that Alora, this new main villain, she doesn't like the warm temperature at all. uh, if Flurry Heart and Costa Glow were married, would how would Costa Glow react to Flurry Heart dating Costa Glow's human counterpart? Um, if you're like referring to is that the human, like if you're referring to the actual Pony Flurry Heart is traveling to the other universe to dating the human version, or if you meaning like the actual human counterpart for Coastal who is dating the actual human Flurry Heart. I don't think she would have been surprised if the human Flurry is dating the human Coastal, but if the pony Coastal went to the human world to date the human Flurry Heart, well, it technically would have been counted as normally we would saying, oh, that's cheating. But in a sense, it kind of not make the sense that because it's the same person. Only that the difference that she's a human version. I don't even know if that would even count as cheating or not. It's I think it's like in the mix of that. I don't know. But what do you think, the game guy? Do you think that would count as cheating or
What were we talking about?
if Flurry Heart and Kozuglo are married, how would Kozuglo react if Flurry Heart was dating Kozuglo's human counterpart? Like if she would travel from Equestria to the human world to date the human version of Kozuglo, and if that she is dating the pony version, would that still count as a cheating? What do you think?
Well, first of all, I'm pretty sure neither Flurry Heart or Cozy Glow even know about the mirror in the first place, so that would
Well, even if they did knew
automatically be a
about it,
problem. If they, I know what you mean, like if they did, but they don't, so that wouldn't happen anyway. But if they did, I mean, technically, I mean, I don't, I don't know. I
I
don't
heard.
really. I'm trying to think about this because it's like, I mean, technically, it's the same person, right? Because
Yeah,
it's the
imprecise. Yeah, there's
Coco
only
in
the only the
the pony
even if it's
world
the
will
same
count it
person, but the only difference is that
as a human,
it,
and the other one's like
yeah.
a
And here's
true
another
pony
thing
or
is that
whatever.
yeah, but here's another thing at even though the pony versions are dating or married, but they have not been seen as even if they are married in a pony version, it would not have to be saying that both the Flurry Heart and Kotsuglos as human counterparts are dating or even married. I'm saying, assuming that that they not necessarily had to be things happen in the pony world in Equestria wouldn't happen exactly the same thing in a human world. Because in a human world, as in the season 9, before in the last episode, is that when um, Sweet Drops and Lyra got married. And even before in this episode, there's supposed to be focused some years after Twilight's coronation. But during that time, before when she is even before she got coronated, Lyra and Sweet Drops got married. And but that timeline is supposed happening around equal to the same time as an Equestria girls when they're still in high school. So in a human world at the time, or if you go back in season 8 of G4, Lyra and Sweet Drops are still as a in their it's supposedly in their 20s, but in Equestria girls they're still like in high school. So that's the only difference. So, but assuming at least that um, assuming that now that Flurry Heart and Kozuglo are in their 20s that they're getting married. And it's only difference that because in the pony version of a character like say Twilight, she's like in her 20s. We don't know exact precise age, but I would say maybe early to mid 20s at least. And that what happened in the human world, that Twilight, she is not even in her 20s. She's in at least around I had to say between 16 and 17 because that Timber Sprouts, her boyfriend, he is slightly older than Side Twilight. He is about 18 or 19. So he's just only about a couple of years older than herself. So that the only the difference is that the pony age of the pony characters in a human world are not precisely exactly the same. Well, at least from the main six. And, well, the fact we don't even know if they're in their 20s at all. They can might even be 17 or even being as even 18 or 19. Who knows? And yeah, so it is just like that. And oh shoot, look who is in the comments. Dash it.
No, no, that's no, that oh boy,
Well,
that's not gonna get
yeah.
no.
Let's say what happened on Discord. Yeah, honestly though, um, like the Dashi, I heard what happened, and let's say I was not a. First of all, I am surprised that that even happened. Well, um, to be honest, I don't even know if your ex somehow hacked your Discord account, a Facebook account, or something like that. Uh, I mean, I will not be surprised that some of our friends actually think like, uh, that is not didn't actually happen. He just told us that, and it just made
Oh,
up.
it happened. All
I'm not
right.
being surprised that some of our friends. Yeah, I don't mean I'm not saying right now that's accusing you, Dashi. It's just that some of our friends may think that you made that all up. Some of our friends is how to say may believe you, others may don't believe you, and some others of our friends actually think that's possible. But some actually prefer uh don't know what to believe. Like say they're half believing, half skeptical about it. It just they don't know without having all the you know all the info, all the information of if like say for me. because when I came online the day after all that happened, I was pretty shocked. I didn't know, and at the I was like, it's based on the like Malakant's reaction. I was like, whoa, what the hell happened that night? But honestly, though, it's just I think that some of our friends like saying, "Oh yeah, Dashi's made it all up from the start. That he had made so much things in the past that didn't make sense. That I'm just saying, I'm not saying that we don't believe you. It's just, I mean, I'm just speaking from my personal here that I have no idea to react or what to say or what to believe. It came as a big shock, and
Actually,
some others are friends. Like I said,
hmm,
I don't know how others our friends would react to this if they believe it or they if they want to believe it or not.
um,
It's just after separate individuals. It's up
Dashi,
to person to person. Some of our friends actually may think that's actually happened. It's also depend on like I mean I don't have all the info based on what was just been said on Discord in that DM. Like I said, I may not have all the info, all the details of what just happened, so I don't even know what's. I mean, even based on what the Malakat told me afterwards, and what Game Guy told me, and based when I read about it, I don't know what to believe or not. So I may not have all the info, all the details. So I'm puzzled. As some people will say, I'm dumbfounded. I was pretty shocked when I read that. I was like, okay, what the hell happened? It,
um,
it just
I
it is it's just no
well,
and not only that, it's just
I
this is not
I
our first rodeo when it comes to drama. So
I want to check something. Actually, I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but I want to see. Uh, Dashi, if you could put like something in the comments, it doesn't matter what it is, just put something in there. I want to see something. I'm not sure if it's gonna work or not. Because if Malachi
um
comes around and he sees you're here, I don't know what's gonna happen.
yeah, we have no idea how he will even react to that. I mean, he might if he's actually watching this right now and he's seeing that you're here,
He probably is.
he might just he may not even show up in the actual stream or in the comments. He might just I would not say that he might just run away. He might just stay away from not you from all internally. It's just more like stay away from you, and um, I mean, he might just stay away from you for a little bit. So
Well, that one won't
uh,
really.
yeah,
Actually, you
he
know
might
what?
just
I can just.
Malachite may not. I don't think Malachite hate you or anything. It's just even if he knows that you're here, he might
I can
just
just check it myself. What am I saying?
what I'm trying to say is that Malika just might stay away from you for a little bit. Just try to process all that will happen, and just not to make the whole thing even worse. I think he's just trying to maybe he's trying to stop not be talk to you for a while so that just things cool down and all that. Just not want to make the thing all of this may even make it all of worse it is. I don't think he even doesn't want to lose you as a friend, and none of us even doesn't want to lose you as a friend. And it just I think that he if I was in his position and it happened, I would definitely would have stayed away from you for at least a little bit a while so that to calm down and not to escalate the whole thing's even way worse. Because if it happened, it might that he, if that was happened, if it was you and me and that all this happened, it would like say you would try to make some of our friends to believe you, and I would probably have done the same thing, and we would try to make sides, and the question would have like in our if you like if game guys suddenly believe in your side of the story and I and Malachite believed in my side of the story and we all discussed about it, eventually it could have led up to this escalating to we even further like almost an all out scale war kind of way. And that means like it would have what I'm trying to say is if it would have had enough built in such bad ways that you start hating me and you block me from Facebook, YouTube, Discord, all that kind of things, and probably some others like Game Guy would had taken your side the whole story and doesn't believe my side and would have probably done the same thing, and that you encourage him to block me from all other sources that he can talk to me on, and that is one thing I probably not wouldn't happen. And I think that Malachite doesn't want that to happen again either. After all, you and Malachite have been friends for at least a few years now. And despite what you two have been happened, I don't think that's nothing that we're gonna want to happen. And as we as all have had shared some familiar escalator dramas in the past with but Deanna played as her cousin Star and all that, and when Stormy asked me to delete one of my streams when he appeared in, some of those things. I mean, we have been a few dramas in the past, and for of course, you have been going through such bad things in yourself. You did mention one time, like one of your ex, um, you were dating her, and this guy, older man, demand to like dating her, and that if you're not doing that, and he will send some people to kill you and all that stuff, and yeah, so we don't want to have any bad dramas again, of course, and we don't blame you for all of this because anyone can be hacked by someone. Despite if we had the best firewall protections and all that, it happened to anyone. And even those almost top secret programs, like or even those best protected systems there is, there's always a risk that you can be hacked. I mean, even I can be hacked. And hey, even Game Guy at one point was pretty scared he could have been hacked by this. Um, he did receive an email about was it like I think it was I think it was
Spam. It was
like
spam.
yeah, it was spam, but he was scared. He was scared that this could have been like a something happened, and that's something that we never even like. We may have heard stories about this happened all the time, all other people had experienced. And if we had to go through it, we like, oh yeah, I heard so many stories of people been experienced like that, been hacked or something like that, or something. And I'm like, oh yeah, this was never gonna happen to me, but it always a possibility that. And speaking of the devil, is here, I think. Yep, it is.
Hey guys, sorry I didn't mean to disappear on you last night
All
about
right. Well,
Discord and all that.
as you're here,
Yes,
I'm
I
gonna
am
test my
here.
theory.
Go ahead.
You know, I think we skipped
What is
the game show
that?
stream
This
today since
over
would you agree?
here.
Game guy.
Skipping the Gingo, but
Yeah, we can
I
skip
think we
it
can
for
do that
today.
tomorrow.
I mean, because we're kind of discussing this whole thing now, so this is a
Yeah,
little
this
more
is
important, honestly. It looks like my
yeah,
theory was incorrect, so
yeah,
good to know.
but fairly though, to be honest. When I first heard that what at least from what I read on the Discord, I was like, what the hell happened? I mean, like Malakat said, like your role playing with him that those messages were just complete delete from his end, from your end, and that he's resent them back to you, and that and uh, and how he and that this ex of yours supposed been hacking your account, and even though, like I said, some of our friends may not even believe on that at all. Some of them may think that you made it all up from the start to make you look bad and like the victim of all things. And but of course, some of our friends may believe that, and others are friends who've been either be part of Discord in the same group, or some like those who's not part of it but are still friends of ours. Like say yes, like say Kuvo for example. If he were part of that, and he was told from some of our other friends, like if he were been told from other game guy or even Malachite himself, I was
I
like,
I understand, and I got a message from uh my girlfriend on my other Discord account saying that there's something going on with your main account that you need to address it. So I come in, I'm like, okay, I'm talking to my girlfriend on the other Discord account through voice chat, which, to be honest, she has a pretty voice. But what she's been telling me, she's like, okay, sweetheart, you're you're someone's apparently talking to me saying that I need to leave you alone and you need to stop talking to my boyfriend, stuff like that. So obviously what she did, she ignored it, and I told her, "Okay, sweetheart, ignore what's going on my other Discord account. I will deal with it, and if it gets worse, I will let the app developers know of everything that's going on, and they will help me gain access to my account back. But until I had access to my account again, and well, basically what happened to her, her device got fried. Her device got fried because of too much power going to her system. And what you need for hacking is way more power. Your device needs more power to hack into another device. For instance, I've seen a video that is no longer on YouTube of it was deleted a long time ago. And this guy was basically using an old school laptop to hack into his parents' home security system. And what ended up happening to his device got fried. His motherboard, his screen got melted, and everything. Because obviously, you need power in order to hack into devices without losing connection. And he lost his device, and his parents found out, and he got grounded for quite a while because of that action. And their security system got back under their control. So yeah, that person's computer was fried. So I'm sure she
yeah,
lost
that's
control over
understandable.
I'm sure she lost control of her laptop after that. So she learned a
Yeah,
lesson, sure.
and even after all this happened, I also did notice that you were part of this group chat on Facebook along with me, Malachite, and the twins, but you also left that one as well.
Yeah, I didn't know if Malachi would be upset or whatnot, and if he would want to leave the groups I was in. But you could always add me to the groups again if you want on Facebook. And I think I removed myself from the groups on Discord as well, or I may not have.
Well, the one that you were
Uh,
part of, you
I
were
kind of did that.
out
I only did it because I didn't want your ex
for
to
everyone wrong.
be rude to everyone else.
Yeah,
But
that is
here's another thing.
understandable.
Have
That
you
was a
talked
desperate
to
measure
Malachite
right there.
since?
Yes,
mean, have you?
Me and Malachite started a fresh page of Facebook Messenger, and we started to do our role play. And he suggested to do ideas on another Facebook page I have. Yes, I have three Facebook pages, two Princess Dashy Facebook pages, and one main Facebook page, which I decided not to add you guys to the second and third Facebook because obviously I don't know how you would react to me adding you to two other Facebook accounts because
Well,
they're
if it was me,
basically
I probably would have declined it because you can never be sure too careful because despite if you have, I mean, I have a friend on Facebook that's someone I went to school with, which I know for personally for many years, and I know he has a Facebook account, and suddenly another one added me as a friend or sent a friend request, but I declined it, and I
mm,
asked him about some time after that if he had another one, and he confirmed. I, for myself, also have a second account on Facebook, which I hadn't even used in years. I only made
it
that one after my first one was somehow blocked or locked for some reason. I don't know why. But
is
I had even but I hadn't even
is
used the second one since I don't even remember the password. To be honest, I don't even so
uh,
uh yeah.
that's why I back up my passwords to Google Chrome because obviously it lets you log into your apps and websites a lot faster. And it also gives you the option to do a random scrambled up password so it's more secure and hackers don't have a chance to hack into your account for that website.
Well, that might be true, but sometimes even the most experienced hackers can actually do that. Despite if you
That is
have
true.
even if you have these two factors of
Authentication
password,
thing.
yeah, that one. Even despite that, and even you have a much longer password compared to if you have a very short one, they can easily hack into that. And if you have most top secured, even the most top programs that would prevent hackers,
Yeah.
even if you have the most advanced protection system, there's always a chance for hackers to get into those. Even if you have a firewall protection system part of your computer to protect you from virus like Trojan or malware virus, despite if you have the most advanced and the most newest system, there's always a risk a Trojan virus can sneak in. Because like a computer virus, they like an actual virus, they will change like a mutation. And
Hmm.
hackers they always develop new techniques and new ways to even enter. They can always don't find they may find a loophole in the most advanced systems. And even
Hmm.
if you have two ways of identification of a password, if you have or even as five or even past 4 to 5 password protection, regardless, they can
Yeah.
always find a way in. And
Yeah.
even if there's a hacker is an amateur or a professional hacker or just someone randomly doing it, no matter what
Yeah.
happens. So that just, I mean, if you can be hacked, I can be hacked, Code can hacked, the game can be hacked, anyone can be hacked, no matter regardless. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's just no matter what happened, even if someone is all, yeah, I'm a professional hacker, or like in this case, your ex may not even be much a professional. She just may have just a lucky, well, maybe just a lucky chance that you did. And even if
Hmm.
you improve yourself to be improving your security, there always a risk that it can happen again. Not maybe from her, but some others.
Yeah.
No matter
And
what happened.
my two other Facebook accounts are linked to my main Facebook account. It's like when you go to the settings and you say create another account, they have the option to create a account and you don't have to use your real name. You could use whatever name you want for yourself. Like, for instance, you could use your OC's name, Shooting Star, and you could add your OC as the profile picture or the
Exactly.
background picture and stuff like that.
Yeah, and also another thing is that when it comes to like making a new account on Discord or like in this case even Facebook, some people doing it a second one as a backup just in case if something would happen to the first one. Like if like oh I forgot my password or if they've been hacked. And
Yeah,
um, and I know for a fact that I have my first and my second, which I hadn't used in years. And it's the same thing as for like also like even YouTube channels. I know that for a fact that some people like actually can make multiple channels, not for that reason. Some may can just say if game guy or has his main one for that he streams on games and another one that maybe he talks about games or something
yeah,
like that. Like PewDiePie, he may has own main for mainly for games or I mean like myself. I had mine for mainly for stores. Someone had a suggestion I will make a separate side channel when I will only making crossover stores, which I probably even want to do. Even though in the
yeah.
past I thought about doing a second channel, but may not even happen.
Mhm. I the Diamond Tiara. I think it's Silverstone, or is it Diamond Tiara, where she falls in love with Scootaloo. I started watching that, and it was actually pretty good at at the first beginning part, and then Rarity falling in love with Luna. Oh man, that is awesome. This true
Well,
love story that I was talking about. You know,
yeah, I mean I
like
have
to
you
game
know
guy, all
Hmm.
that. Remember the Luna and Rarity fall in love of true love story that you suggested, or was it the Diamond Tiara and Scootaloo? Because I've started watching those two stories and they're actually pretty good.
When did
mm,
I
excuse me.
suggest that? I don't remember doing that.
Or was it someone else that had those ideas?
If it's
Because
Scootaloo, it was probably Kofu.
hmm, Scootaloo fell in love with, I think, either Silver Spoon or Diamond Tiara. And that was recently because that goes back quite a few stories, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean as many other stories ideas I have also. Um, even that someone actually have been considering asking me to do um someone asked me to do this one particular with Starlight and Sweetie Belle or Scootaloo as a love story. Well, here's the thing. It's not like I could do it. It just the well I've kind of done it before, but it's just mostly like age difference. It's just when it comes to making stories for myself, there is always a line that I usually don't even cross. And especially when someone
You know,
suggests this idea, and even when someone suggests to me, requested to making Kion with his sister Kiara as a story, but only difference is that this was supposed to be taking place in Ultimate Universe, where both they weren't even siblings at all. They weren't even related. They were from two different lion packs. In that sense, it makes much better because if they weren't related, it makes better sense. But yeah, there's always when something like a love story that some people ask me to do because I just recently checked on the one that Robert Freeman asked. See here, like uh, what was it like? Um, Screwball with Coast Glow or uh, what was it? Starlight with Filter Rich. Yeah, those stories can actually work. Only like say for like Starlight and Filter Rich. And the only difference is that I need to figure out a way for come up with this. well, like if Filthy Rich had divorced his own first wife, or if he had passed away in an accident or an illness, because otherwise, yeah, it's like I had to come up with something. Like it's like when I made Twilight Velvet, Twilight's mom with Celestia. That was one of like the stories I came up with, and that I came up with the idea that Nightlight, Twilight's father, passed away some years earlier in some form of disease, and
Mhm.
that eventually her mom marrying Celestia. That's one story, part of the story that makes sense because I mean, as long as that someone actually it's like there have been some theories like Sunburst and Sunset are siblings because they have basically almost the same coat colors. But it's impossible to tell for it's never been confirmed or if that is true. And but there's always when it comes to some making stories of different characters, it's always something that I um there's always something like when it comes to like stories that some people asked me in the past, like, yep, I can do that, and I can do that. That no, I can't do because it depends on. It can be multiple reasons, like say the age difference, or it can be like they are like say if someone like asked me to do Brayburn with Applejack, they're close cousins. Or Apple Bloom with someone in the Apple family, but maybe some that's adopted in the family, it makes sense. And if someone asked me to do, say, if Applejack had adopted a kid around the same age as, say, as Apple Bloom, and if that's a boy or a girl, and they end up being falling in love with each other, technically they would have been siblings or something. Or cousins. I don't even know. But since they're not even, they wouldn't even be blood related. So in a technically way, they would be allowed. But in a way, so far, no one has asked me to do that. But it comes to stories, regardless if it's the MLP version stories or even some others, there's always a line that I might not even want to cross. It depends on what from what shippings they are, and of course, it sometimes there are so many stories that I have been masked for nearly 9 years now. Well, there will be 9 years this year, but even there are some stories that makes might not even make complete sense at all. I mean, I mean, I have been looking at like sometimes at Twyborough or Derbyborough, seeing this shippings that makes no sense at all. I mean, someone like made this story or this shipping of Twilight with an actual book, for example. Like, how or why is one of the major questions, which in hindsight, it makes no sense. And even if someone like, oh yeah, can I do that? I like, um, no, I wouldn't. As long as there's some, oh, by that ship, but as long as the stories are not involving too crazy ideas. And I'm always open for new ideas all the time. But even though I'm still not taking in any, even if people leave a request, I'm usually don't want. I'm not going to do them for a while since I had so many stories I'm on. And I did mention before that I have around 300, uh, nearly a little bit more than 350 mails. That's is stories in mind that my girlfriend has sent me. Well, the number isn't even 370. It's actually 1,658. And that's a lot of stories. Hey, that's gonna take be pretty much a long time. Even though I was considered at one point quitting making stories and do something else. But even if I did, question is, what else should I do? Well, I didn't even know for certain of that part. It just, well, Dashi's back.
Sorry about that Wi-Fi disconnect. I hate those things because obviously my host home provider won't listen and he won't get the people to come out here and fix it because
Hmm.
obviously it's an old router and it does not have surge protector built into it. And every time the power goes out, it forgets the password. And I have to add a extra letter or remove extra letter or number just to get the password put in. So yeah, I was thinking about something because obviously I like I like Diamond Tiara, Silver Spoon, and Sweetie Belle, and the rest of the CMCs. But I was thinking I'm trying to find an app that I could create my OC in
You're
uh,
typing.
as a as a Philly form,
I'm gonna get this.
so it can be feasible for a true love story. You know, creating my character to be smaller and younger, but even though my character is full grown, we could say, in this true love story, Dashi, even though she looks full grown, she is actually younger. She has some form of condition to where she grew taller and more mature faster, but she's still younger, around the CMC's age. So it could still be a true love story, even though
Yeah,
she's taller and much more mature looking, but she's still around the CMC's age, and she is still a young filly, but more of a
yeah, it might
medical
make sense.
condition. You
But
know,
even if, yeah, and assuming, like, say, if that Flurry Heart and Kosuke would end up be dating as a human version. But here's another thing: if Flurry Heart is in her, say, late teens, like say if she's about 16, 17, or like that, and that Cozy herself is still trapped inside a
Okay.
stone statue, and even if she'd been released, she would have been way too young for Flurry Heart to even to be with as in a relationship. Because
yeah,
as even though we know that she because we don't even know for certain how old she is. And like even the
yeah,
CMC, but assumingly like if they're 12 years old, but it's possible that Koziglo could be released at some point when even when Flurry Heart is still young. But here
There we go.
is one small detail that I may have to address here, though. Even if they wanted to release Koziglo from the stone statue along with Terek and Chrysalis, isn't here the main question is, can they separate Koziglo separately, or they had to unfree them all of them at once, grabbing Kozuglo and put them back, other two back in the stone statue. It's impossible to tell if they can separate, only focus on one of them at just only one time, or if they have to release all of them at the same time and grab one of them and put the other two back in the stone statue. If they can simply by using the elements or the magic like directing it like a beam on Kosuglo, and only her body will be released, but the other two will be untouched by the beams. I mean, if that would have
Hmm.
been the case, it makes sense. But like I said, it's impossible to tell if they can release only one of them or that have been released all three of them. But if they would have to release all three, they will have to have, I'd say, maybe as a whole battalion of royal guards just in case. Otherwise, it would be
Alright.
really devastating that all of them three get run away. But even so, even if Cozy Glow
Um,
can be released, can she be trusted? Can she be reformed? At the moment, I have to say it's a bit tricky. I mean, she might just pretend and lie that she is going to be reformed, like Discord did when he had the first time.
You know,
It's
let me tell you an experience
it's
in a
Swedish.
story I've read.
hmm?
I got the thing set up. Randomizer, I mean.
So, you know, there's a story that reminds me of
Put it on the
about Cozy Glow.
big mode.
You know, Cozy Glow is a filly, a tiny little filly. But in one of the stories, there was a mentioning of Cozy Glow's
You're
condition.
gonna have to make me like the whatever it's called. Swedish. There you go.
So there's this
Oh,
condition
okay.
that Cozy Glow has, and she's more of an adult in a filly form due to her medical condition. And she's a little bit older than Twilight's age in her condition,
Yeah,
medical condition.
and another thing about it, since she said when Cozy Glow was first introduced in the show, um, is that she said that when she met the CMC that she had moved recently to Ponyville.
Mhm.
And even with that, she never mentioned like any of her other family, like parents, siblings, or anything like it.
That's not too bad, I guess.
And that's a different Mario. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's impossible to tell for like if Kosuko herself can be um if she can be
Trusted.
reformed or not, and if she has a condition. Like it's like another thing like a Scootaloo. Because
Yeah.
even from season 1 to season 9, even when she was transformed in an older version of her by a magical flower, she
Mhm.
wasn't unable to fly. And even in the last episode, when they're showing her much some years after, they still haven't given her even when she had aged the same age that when she in the same age when she was turned into that by the magical flower. Despite that, even when she was
Yeah.
working at the school, her wings hadn't even changed at all. So it's possible that as many wonders or had this belief that Scootaloo is forever unable to fly due to the fact that she may have some um, this condition making her body or at least her wings uh, be kind of stuck in the way that she is in. And it's not like impossible, but would it be possible for her to using some sort of magic spell to grow her wings? Maybe, but would it be worth
Yeah.
the risk? But here's another thing: would it be worth the risk to use a magic spell on the wings, even if the wings would have been the same size as a full-grown Pegasus? There's no guarantee that the wings would even work at all. And I mean,
Yeah.
even if the wings would be fully developed, she has no experience in flying. And even if she would try to fly, another thing is like we don't even know that's true. I mean, look at like when Spike when he tried to fly, Twilight and even Fluttershy and even Rainbow tried to teach him how to fly. But they were like realized, at least Twilight realized, based on that pony and dragon's wings are completely different. Ponies are with feathers and dragons are with leathers.
Yeah.
So there
And
was
Swedish. Before you continue, you remember that one Snowdrop and Luna true love story you did, right?
hmm?
You know that Luna and Snowdrop true love story you did, where Snowdrop was still a filly form, but she had a cancer or something, that she was gonna die, and Luna didn't want to lose her only friend. So
Me?
Celestia or Celestia
That,
or Twilight or something put her in a crystal to keep her alive
yeah.
somewhat until they could find a
Well,
cure.
yeah, that's the thing. Like we don't because even though in the fan animated video where they made her appearance,
Hmm.
she was born blind apparently,
Yeah,
and
yeah, but
and
she had
and
a different thing that would kill her, and if they
yeah,
didn't kill her, Luna
yeah.
would
Well,
lose her.
that is part of my story. But in the other
Yeah,
movie that she made her first official appearance in, she died at one point. Even though
yeah,
I presumably by other age or something because I'm part of you in the story. It was something I came up with, and
yeah,
as you said, and as you said to yourself that Luna didn't want to lose her best friend, but
yeah,
she wouldn't otherwise have put her in this crystal against Snowdrop's will. And another thing is I don't remember exactly though, but I I presume for um, that um, Snowdrop was at least in her late teens, or almost 20 years old when that happened, and even when Luna put her in a crystal, and it might have saved her life. But here's
yeah.
another thing, because I got that idea similar to things that we have in our world, even
Hmm.
though and that is based on like this cryogenetics, meaning that putting someone in like a frozen sleep. But in our world, if you were placed in that stasis, like in cryogenetic, and if someone wake you up from it, you've been dead because you won't be able to
Yeah,
survive that. But I put something similar in a pony version, but instead for that type of technology may not even be existent. But the similar, the only thing that's most similar to that, which is crystal. I kind of used a similar technique in a different story where Luna was actually running into this dragon in a crystal, but the only difference is that he was placed there by ponies who were afraid of him. Um,
mm,
but yeah, but and for this case for like Skululu, we don't even know her since they never mentioned why she was unable to fly. But it, from what I can say, and even from what I can tell, is that she came to full acceptance that in her that even as she is in her 20s or late teens like that, she's her wings hadn't even grown anything in size, and
yeah,
that she had fully accepted that she's never going to be able to fly.
yeah. And in basically what I like about the true love story with Luna and uh, Snowdrop is basically Luna wanted to wait until she's more of an adult
Mamma mia, that dog
to
is
fall in
loud.
love with her. You know,
So was that siren?
there. You know, I like the story where Luna wanted to wait until she was more of an adult to fall in love with her, and then start a relationship with her, because obviously in Equestria the laws are different, but it basically, I've always wanted to do a, I didn't know how I would be able to do this, a true love story with my OC and uh basically either Diamond Tiara, Silver Spoon, or Sweetie Belle, or the other CMCs. Because I was thinking I had a storyline, a story idea of how Dashi would fall in love with Diamond Tiara. You know, where
Where
um
is that?
so you know
Uh,
Diamond Tiara would understand what's going on with Dashi when she sees
Oh,
that
yeah.
she has oxygen
Speak
and
hilarious.
she hears a bullying Princess Dashi. And Diamond Tiara basically goes up to the bully and says, "You better leave her alone, or I will. There will be uh, karma coming towards you. And if you don't leave her alone, I will defend her, no matter what happens." And that's when Diamond Tiara could admit that she has a crush on Dashi. And yes, both of them are fillies around the same age, but Dashi is much more mature
Yeah,
looking because of her
yeah.
condition.
And
Mario, I could not agree with you more, buddy.
here's another thing. And ever since that Glow was part of the show, and ever since her main after her after she was revealed to be the main villain in the series, even from that back in season 8, I
Mhm.
know for a fact that some fans may have actually hated Glow, but her true actions would have been, and that some of them actually could not ever see her with any of the characters as a shipping.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's someone to say that, oh yeah, she can actually end up with the Tarek. Here's another part of that. Yeah, good luck. But here's another
yeah.
stuff about that.
Tira,
Even if that,
Tira could be her grandfather.
hmm but here's another thing. Uh, ever if she would have remained in the Taurus, Tarek spent there for 1 millennium by himself. So even if the Kozuglo was there in her own cell, or in her,
Mhm.
or in this case, her cage, would that would she had aged and died there, or is it some form of is there something in that
What
place
do
that
you
will
mean?
that will keeping a pony alive,
Yeah.
even remain like would it like say if she would not put there in as a filly, would that place
Mm.
maintain her actual appearance as a filly for even 1,000 years? Because if you look at it, because if you look at Tirak when he was first in there and when he came out, he looked exactly the same even for 1,000 years. So
Yeah,
is it possible that this place has uh some form of some form of anti-aging spell or something that would somehow preserve as a character's age at a certain point? Like, even if that closer glow would have been there for even 100 years, she would still remain as a filly. Even 1,000 years, she may still have been as a filly. But here's another thing about it: of course that spell would have lose its effect if she leaves the place. But I don't believe if she would have been there for like
You
say
know,
200 years.
that's
But even if she would have been in that TARDIS for 200 years, and she gets out from that place, and if that, I don't think, I honestly don't believe that the aging process will somehow suddenly that the spell that were keeping someone alive for so long in that place, like stopping the aging process, and if she would have leave the Taurus even after 200 years, I don't believe, and I honestly don't think that her body would suddenly age 200 years in near instant. Because if she do that, she would have
mhm.
known leaving the TARDIS even after like being trapped in there for 2 centuries, and even with her getting out of there,
okay. Give me one
and
second.
even after she will be getting out of that place, even after 2 centuries, knowing stepping outside that place, which is where the place that her body, if she would step out of it, she would immediately would have aged 2 centuries in an instant and die from it. Because that reminds me of a story, well, based on the from an Irish mythology, a man who sits on a horse, and after 300 years, even though he was told if he stepped down from the horse, he would die immediately by age, which he did.
Mm.
So I don't think that if this place had this some form of anti-aging spell that would prevent someone from aging, even that they were say if Twilight would end up there, if she is 25 years old and she has been there for 1,000 years, she wouldn't even had aged a single day. But even if she steps out of it, I don't think that she wouldn't immediately like and automatically age 200 years in an instant. I don't think that would have no effect on that. But the only difference is that the spell inside the Taurus that kept her from aging wouldn't work on her if she leaves the place. And after she leaves the place, she would age normally, even though that she had been away for 200 years. So even the coastal glow would have been there over this time, it's hard to tell if she's gonna be there forever. Like if she's been there for 1,000 years, I don't even know if she's even still alive even that time, or if she aged normally inside the TARDIS. But based on that Tirak had been there for 1,000 years, and he looked exactly the same and as he was put there 1,000 years earlier, and so it's impossible to tell. But I do believe this might be something that in the TARDIS that keeping your age from actually affecting. Maybe her aging process is complete stopped, or it's possible that Kuzuko's aging is still normal in the TARDIS, but it's a very slow process. Like it's just like somehow slowing down the aging process a factor of let's say maybe 100. So even if like say 200 years, it might have been like say maybe 2 years, or maybe it's 5 years for her inside there, and if maybe it's like so if let's say if the time agent of normal outside is going as normal, but if someone is inside the Taurus and placed there for say 500 years, so instead for 500 years, even though you may age normally, you may instead move like yeah, what if like say as Robert says, what if the time flows slower inside into Taurus? Like say if you've been placed there for 500 years, but instead for you age that instead of 500 years, you will probably, and if you leave that Taurus, you only had aged 5 years. Instead for like say if you've been there for say 1,000 years, you had only aged 10 years. So if you've been like for 1,000,000 years, you may even had been there for like say only age 10,000, in something like that way. But yeah, so it's impossible to tell exactly if to know. I mean, first of all, Tirak is he's a centaur, and I don't believe that the centaurs live for 1,000 years or more in like a lifespan. So I do believe this place has some form of effect on the character or ponies or animals' aging process. Either it either they stop the aging process completely, and or they just simply aging much slower. It that has some time that has some effect on the aging process. But even if it's so, because here's another thing: if they would have been at the age, either if the time aging process is complete stopped, if they're being placed in there, or if the aging process takes much slower compared to if you're otherwise. But what would happen if someone is inside the Taurus And during the time when magic was complete gone, how would otherwise things affected those who were inside the Taurus? If the magic that was a spell that kept anyone from aging, what about that? If that, I mean, you know the fact that the main magic was affected, like when the Taurus, when the Kozuko tried to steal the magic or drain the magic, in that they had to use all the creatures, including T-Rex, only remaining magic for the main six to only to be able to escape. But what if, like, if the magic is completely gone, like happened in DG5, what would happen to those that are inside the Taurus? If that is in fact a spell that is somehow stopping someone's aging process, if that magic is gone outside the world, would that be an effect in the magic that's inside the TARDIS as well? Like a spell that keeps them alive for eternity? If that spell is also disappeared, if that magic is connected to the world outside, if they happen that means disappear, that means the spell that to keep themselves alive for eternity is gone. So that means they will eventually just simply age normally and die of age. But here's another thing, though, that I might have to address here also. What if that when those are in the Taurus? I mean, I really don't believe that they have some like personnel or staff in the Taurus that giving the prisoners food. I mean, and when we saw main six there, we didn't see any other ponies. Unless there aren't any staff or any particular guards inside. So, assuming that this spell that kept themselves aging process was stopped entirely, also affected their bodies were in need of food and drinks in order to survive. Otherwise, if that would have been the case, they would have been had to be given food almost every single day in order to survive. Otherwise, it would have been complete odd if there are no guards and that the prisoners like Tirak and Kozuglo didn't have anyone that provided them food because they weren't even allowed to leave the cages. So otherwise, this spell that kept them alive must have also affected their need of food and water. It completely makes sense at that part. Otherwise, they would have someone who walks in and out to provide for the food and drinks for the prisoners. I mean, I think uh, I think that probably that you guys probably agreed on that it had to be someone or the part of magic, the spell that keep them from not aging, but also affecting that they don't require food or water to know to survive. So they can be sitting there in their prison cells or the cages talking to each other without even feeling the hunger of food or even feeling thirsty. That wouldn't make sense. Even though that Tarek felt weak, but it was because of he had no magic. Well, the most that he didn't have much strong magic otherwise. If times moves slower in the Tartarus is Kosugo go get out, the Tarek in the main six would be dead, but Kosugo would still be alive because she would only be a just aged 3 years. I mean it's possible at all, but at the same time, we don't even know if the Taurus, the prisoners inside the Taurus, they will even be affected at all. I mean, if there is a spell that keep everyone there almost basically immortal, that means uh, that means if they're immortal inside, as long as they're inside of the Taurus. So even the main six are outside. Well, I mean that would also like say if the main six would have been staying inside the Taurus for even 1,000 years, they would even have aged. So I don't mean they not necessarily had to be in cages in order to maintain their immortality also in that way. I think as long as you were still inside the Taurus, even moving around freely, you still would have been affected by that spell. At least what I think of. So what you having for dinner though, game guy? Steak, chicken, McDonald's, pizza, fish. At least one of those, right? McDonald's. Yeah, I'm actually eating some popcorn myself. Fudge flavor, something new. Tastes good. Hmm. I don't know, though, Robert. I mean, it's hard to tell. But even if so, I don't know. But assuming from this part, we know that for a fact that um, basically anyone who's inside the TARDIS are kind of basically immortal. I mean, like I said before, I don't think a centaur like Terek is having that extremely long lifespan like the Alicorns have. But I should mention one thing. Oh, about one thing there. Apparently, during the time when Discord was still free before he was starting Stone, he actually went to the homeland where Terek was living with his family before he actually came to Equestria. As we all know, when he was first introduced in the show, his brother Scorpion was also introduced, but only in his background story. But in this later, they made this comic book series based on some of the main villains like Chrysalis, Sombra, Terek, and the Sirens, among things. And that apparently, after Apollo had been captured and brought to Terek's home, and that he had a teacher or a mentor who was a centaur, but that particular mentor had been exiled from the home due to the fact his belief absorbing magic from other creatures would make them powerful. And that Terek's mother, the queen, she was a gargoyle, and while his father was a centaur. That both of them actually believed, and it was best to returning the pony back to Equestria without causing any like a war. And one of the characters was present in the main hall or in the front room was Discord. So that's just another thing, but I don't think that comics are even canon. I mean, if Discord had been put in stone for 1,000 years, would that have stopped his aging process? Yes. But would he still remain alive even for like even or even was put in stone? More likely. After all, after all, ever since the main six died, or at least the other ones that died eventually, even when he is back in G5, when Terek actually reappeared in the first comics they've made, he was still pretty much alive, even though they weren't given exact how much time had passed between G4 and G5. But based on the certain hints throughout your tale, and it make you mark when even Sunny mentioned there have been centuries. So I am assuming there have been at least 300 years based on other small detail that her father said that they have been the family blanket have been part of the family for 10 generations. And 10 generations in our world is roughly 350 years. So assuming that it could have been the same time. So that means Terra code Discord have been alive for 1,000 years plus those 300 years in the G5 timeline. The only difference is that he lost one of his horns and his hair had grown a bit more longer. And in fact, even though that he was still alive, even when his magic was completely gone, I had always assumed that if he lost his magic, would that affect his aging process or something? But even Lauren Faust had also said that Discord is the only one being. He is not a part of a species, but who knows? I mean, where is he even from? Had he even been always been around? Doubt it. I mean, not that like the opponents have been aware of though, but who knows? How would Cozy Glow react to Flurry Heart cheating on her with pumpkin cake? Well, easy answer. She would be mad. She would be mad if she find out that Cozy Glow or a Flurry Heart has been cheating on her. I mean, wouldn't you be mad if you find your partner been cheating someone? I would. But Cozy Glow, I have to admit, she is one of the few characters that I really dislike so much. But even if that, even back in the last episode of G4 of season 9, they were turned to stone. But in season 10 comic series, yeah, they made a comic series based on season 10. The statue is cracking in pieces, like they're getting free from it. And yeah, I don't think that's actually like canon. But based on what that happened in that series, at least in that comic season, is that well, let's say turned out that this Tree of Harmony has not always been one in just only one. It turned out there were at least 12 in total, but not all of them were in place in Equestria. The other remaining were actually one is was placed in Sokora's homeland, one in the Diamond Dogs Kingdom, one was placed in Obsidia, where Capper is from, and the other one that at least I were aware of is where the Parrot Pirates are from. Arrow's another one of those. It's just, but like I said, I don't think that's even considered canon. It just, but it was just a bit off, especially that Twilight was considered queen, not princess. Even though Celestia, back in season one, for before in the production, she was considered to was made as a queen, but it changed into princess. And yeah, it's a little bit different how things some of the characters in the season I actually made up. even Prince Blueblood, when he actually did return in by Dashi, but when he made his second return back in Equestria games, he had a complete different mark. It was pretty much identical to the one that Fancy Pants had. Well, despite that Prince Blueblood may have been the. I mean, first of all, who else would have been in line in taking over the kingdom if Luna Celestia did retire? Well, there are only like three candidates. That would be Twilight, Cadence, Flurry Heart. Wait, actually four. Actually, that would be and Prince Blueblood. But even so, Cadence would have been removed from the list because she's ruling the Crystal Empire. And Flurry Heart, well, she may have given an opportunity to do if she wanted to either rule Crystal Empire or Cantonalt. But that would have depended on if Cadence and Shining Armor had a second kid that could be the next ruler otherwise. But so except for her, Twilight and Prince Blueblood would have been the second option. But based on Blueblood's reaction, how he acted back in season 1, I don't think he would even been a strong candidate. Why? Well, he was a complete jerk. He was selfish. He didn't care anything about himself. In fact, he even tried to use Rarity as a shield when a cake come flying from midair. Literally, he was just, and he tried to make her use something so that he can walk over something of mess on the ground. So, would that have changed the mind? Even when I could have changed her mind? Maybe, yes. But if he would have been, if they had decided to retire back in season 1 or season 2, would Prince Blueblood would have been a candidate to be taken over? Yes, but I doubt that even would have been allowed. What if in Ultimate Time, Kozuglo was the element of magic? Possible. It's possible. There isn't even a possibility that Sunset could have been the next one in line. In fact, there is even one comic where the main 6 travel to another dimension ruled by dinosaurs. And here's the thing. Those dinosaurs had cutie marks. I haven't even seen in those. I don't think there are any pictures, but. And another small thing about I did notice yesterday when I saw this Tell Your Tale special movie. This sea pony Destiny. She had a cutie mark. But it is impossible to tell exactly if she has the same, if she belongs to the same type that can be a hippogriff, or if that actually is, or if she's complete different sea pony species. But it's hard to tell.
By the way, can you get my thing back how it was? Because I can get the game back up. Now that I've finished eating. So yeah, so what did I miss? While I was busy doing something else.
Not much. We just talked. I was talking more like that. Prince Blueblood wasn't a good candidate for being the next ruler if Twilight was not accepting it. That Cadence would not accept it because she's a co-ruler of the Crystal Empire, and that Fleur Hart could have taken the role over, but since she is the next one in line to be the Empire, unless the Cadence and Shining Armor had a second kid, but who knows. And as Quinn said, I hate Blue Blood. Another reason why Rarity is better off with Spike in the future. Yeah, that might be true.
Oh, I can't do that one. I was gonna do 8,083. You know why, but I'll just go with that and not press the right button, because why not? 8,008. Oh, right, I didn't get rid of this one. Whoops. Oh, actually, you know what? I didn't do the car. This one tonight. I don't know what I did. Never mind. Alright, let's do it. Yeah, you know, that seems about right. But anyway, yeah, I'm not that big a fan of Prince Blue Blood either.
I don't think anyone is.
Well, I can think of one fan of Prince Blue Blood, that being Prince Blue Blood himself, and maybe Celestia and Luna, because you know that's their nephew.
Yeah,
Although
I actually
feel like that doesn't really count.
true. I actually seen this probably what would be this type of 3D style pony version where Twilight fell in love with Shadow the Hedgehog, and that Celestia Luna, or at least Celestia, had summoned him to help them with Mephiles, this shadow type spirit or being that taken his shape. That Blue Blood is taking part of this tournament in the Crystal Empire along with Flash, Shadow, and Macintosh, and she's Sandwich. And that Shadow end up fighting against Blue Blood, who he was easily defeated in an almost near instant. And another thing is that Discord gave Shadow an ability to transform himself to a pony and back to his original self at any time. It's gonna actually fun to see though.
Yeah. By the way, what happened to Dashi?
I don't know, he just left. Probably a
His
connection
Wi-Fi
problem.
must have. Yeah. Mario. Okay, thank you.
But if they had made an episode during the season 2 or season 3 where Blue Blood, or even season 1, that he approached Rarity and asked for apology, for forgiveness, and apologized for how he acted toward her during the gala, I think maybe that she would accept it. It depends if he was serious and if he tried to do something for to make it up, like say be her assistant or something.
Yeah, maybe. My throat is all clogged.
There were actually back in season 9, in the last episode, that when Rarity, when she arrives to Canterlot, and that she had been in the Yakistan, there were some indication that she might have opened a new boutique or one of her shops there. Even though it was not like directly mentioned that she did, but it was implying that she might have. But they might tend to say this, even though I know that Cody Darkhawk and Cody Lane and some other Rarity um, fans might be a little bit offensive to this statement that I was going to do now, is that some fans might even dislike Rarity because how did to say it, that she is sometimes can be like a drama queen, literally drama queen. She can be up on this couch eating ice cream right from a box, like like over dramatic for what has happened. That is just some people that might think that she is a bit of a drama queen. Though I mean, can even anyone blame that? I mean, that's part of her character, though, as a personality. But otherwise, her character itself is not that too bad. The only thing that I don't like about her is when she starts acting like this drama queen. Otherwise, she's a pretty not a too bad character itself. I just don't like drama queens or drama, anyways. Well, in that perspective, but same thing when Starlight. I didn't like her as a main villain because how she tried to take the main six cutie marks, and in the same way when she tried to even try to change the timeline, how she trying to fix something like that, but how she decided to change her mind after she realized her mistake, her action would have a devastating effect on the time. Even when Tempered Shadow, even when she was a bad character, but even when she also in the end realized her mistake, and that she realized also that the Storm King had never intended to help her get her horn hat back. So after she learned that, realized he was not going to help her, well, I think that another reason why I started to like her. Otherwise, before then, I didn't like her, but she was pretty much one of the few best bad guys at the time. Those Storm minions that Storm King had, even though they never talked, they were actually not too bad characters, though. As I mean, especially the one that Fluttershy having this therapist session with. I mean that was just, and even that one that Pinky was literally throwing cupcake after cupcake at one of the guards, those minions. I mean, could you have been blamed from that part? That was just hilarious. Even though, even when they were invited as party afterwards, but I wonder what happened to those storm guards. I mean, after the Storm King was defeated, and were they allowed to stay in Equestria, or did they go back to where they came from? What do you think?
Hard to say.
Cody, what do you think? Do you think the storm guards minions were allowed to stay in Equestria, or do you think they return home? Sure. Can tell me what I think about it. Well, at least tell me about it first before I can actually tell.
Wait, this is important to me. I can totally backwards, so I'll jump into that. Not that way.
But what do you think about the?
Oh no, I can't.
But Game Guy, did you even watch that movie though yourself?
Yeah, a while back. Anyway, it's been a while.
But what did you think your first impression of the Storm King?
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I thought that he was able that was both funny and crazy all at the same time, but also very cunning character. And especially one of the funniest parts when he was having this long distance magic phone call in the front room on the Camelot. That was hilarious. I mean,
Yeah, this seems about right to me. Wait. Hey, we got it inside the hoop. Get the stone for me! You didn't get it. Get up inside the thing? Oh my goodness gracious, what am I doing? Wait, can I throw this guy inside of this? That'd be awesome. No, but I did throw him on top of it. That was awesome. But yeah, the Dark King wasn't so bad. Sorry, Chain Chomp, no big old bombs for you.
even Gruber, this porcupine, he was not that bad either. No, wait.
Oh, nice.
He was actually a hedgehog. Or at the time of when Capper used when he used Spike as a flamethrower. That would have been. Oh, that reminds me. That's since Spike's magic, his fire is teleportation. What if that? What would happen if the fire would have impact someone else? Would they have been teleported? I mean, unless that there is some size limit of how big items that Spike can use on his fire on to teleport, like those scrolls, or if he can even teleport even a full-grown sized pony, or even an alicorn like Celestia, or even a full-grown dragon like Torch. But I think there might be a limit though. But if they like say if someone would use Sparky the same way, I wonder if those ponies or characters that have been hit by the fire, if they would have been part of them be transformed or something. How would Costa Glow react if Flurry Heart forgot her birthday? I mean, she might just a bit. She wouldn't be like pissed or anything. She might just. I have to say, she might just be
Nope.
a little bit sad, of course, and a little bit upset about it. But it could have been depending on the reason why she is if Flurry Heart was doing something and that made her kept her and she was keeping herself focused on that. It's possible because it happened to me that if I was going to do something and I focus on something and I can easily forget the other thing. But mm, or it could have been also the same, more simple answer. Like, is that Flurry Heart pretends that she forgot Cozy Glow's birthday, but she has actually been planning her birthday the whole time, but using, pretending that she had forgotten about it, like a birthday surprise,
Yeah, like that for the vet anyway.
which has happened before to some characters, though. But how would you react, game guy, if your family forgot your birthday?
Well, considering what day it falls on, they forget my birthday. Well, they can forget about me having mercy on them. I'll prank them like there's no tomorrow. See, that's the good thing about having April Fool's Day as your birthday. You can just do whatever you want. It's great.
Yeah, and for me, I wouldn't actually. I wouldn't even be upset at all. I just might have felt a bit disappointed that no one remembers my birthday, but I know for a fact, one of my ex girlfriends I have, her birthday is actually on the Halloween itself, but she told me that this year's Easter, it wasn't any particularly good for her.
That's not gonna make it actually.
Since her mom passed away
Hmm.
about a year ago, and her older brother and her dad was fighting this Easter. I don't know what they were fighting about, so and I didn't do anything particular for Halloween Easter this year myself either. So I just were with my family. My brother was invited for dinner with his girlfriend over. Dad then watched TV with computer.
That can in mind.
But my sister was not. She was not here. Let's say it's an ongoing family drama. Well, basically, my mom and dad had cut all ties with her permanently. And presumably, I am the only one in the family
That's not
that
gonna make
actually
it.
talks to her.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
because the
I
reason,
mean, sorry.
main reason why is that my family been doing this is just um, briefly is that my sister's second oldest daughter was she was raped by her ex-boyfriend, and that he was in jail for some time, but now he's out, and that she isn't he isn't allowed to see his own kids. But well, basically, he showed up, and that's not that my sister had promised that she would never interact with him directly, but she lied, and that's the reason why my parents had just cut all ties with her. I don't know about my brother though, but I know for one thing, he's pissed. Am I pissed? Well, understatement. But I am probably the only one in my family who actually talks to her still. If Misty and Pip got married and Pip said her water broke as an April Fool's joke, how would Misty react? Uh,
Mamma mia! That's how
First
she
of
would
all,
react. Not just
Mm,
It's gonna
well, it would. I mean, it would depend on like you know uh, it can be different. It can be different reasons, like very scenarios, like when during the time she's doing it, or and also what Misty is doing. Let's say if Misty is in the kitchen during lunchtime making lunch for herself, and Pip Pip made this April Fool's joke title, and she's like, April Fool's joke. You know, you know how normally a parent or a future parent will react when their fiance, girlfriend, or wife saying, "Oh, my water broke," and how the father react? He would actually react very panicking. So if Misty or if Pip told as an April Fool's joke to Misty that her water broke, and she later says
You can still
April
say those.
Fool's joke,
Sorry.
she would have been, well, she would first of all panicking. Normally, newly parents react that way. I would if I were having a kid, if I had a kid on the way. But if Misty is panicking, and normally she would run, grabbing the baby bag that that the couple are always packing down, have it prepared. But if she grabbing it and she hearing Pip laughing and says, "Missy, it was just an April Fool's joke," and if that was a joke, she would have been mad. She would have been upset that she made a lie or had this a fake. But what if? I mean, what if she at first during that she made this an April Fool's joke, and that Pip is due to have the baby around maybe sometimes in early April. Let's say sometimes in late March and early April. If they know that time frame, the baby can come at any time.
Oh yeah.
And even if Pip saying that it was an April Fool's joke, but later that day she says that Misty again that her water broke. Would Pip react? How would Misty react? Well, she wouldn't be panicking at all. People would be like, even though this is still like, in that would be the second time if they're like early afternoon. People like Misty were like, it's still me like, it's still April Fool's Day joke. Or it's still April Fool's Day. So it's probably one of her pranks again. So Misty might react to thinking that's just another April Fool's joke prank. Even if that might not be the case. The first might have been that, but the second one might have been the real. So I have to say this. If you're having a kid, and the kid is, if that your kid is about to be born sometimes late May, late March, or sometimes in early April, and that your kid end up being born on the same day as an April Fool's joke, and that your girlfriend, wife, or fiance is telling you that the baby is coming, that her water broke, but it turned out to be as a prank, as an April Fool's prank, I don't think that should not be pranked about as an April Fool's joke. Because the father can panic in the first time, but when he find out that it was a joke, he can take it very seriously. And what if next time, the second time, in the same day, he may not even believe, he might not even take her seriously. So I think don't do that. But ever missed this case, she would have first panicked at the first time she mentioned it. But if people saying it was just an April Fool's joke, Misty might just simply be upset if she pretended that Pip's water broke. Yeah, so I don't think she would even be happy about it at all. If Pip said the second time during the later that same day, Misty may not even believe it and think that's another of her April Fool jokes. But if that second time is the real deal, but how would you know? Even if the first time Misty might freak out. She might panic, which is most common when most new parents are reacting to. But the second time, yeah, I don't think Misty would even panic, but she might just simply think, "Oh, it's just another April Fool's joke." So, for ever goodness sake, don't make that as a joke on April Fool's Day at all. If I got to do that for did that to me, well, let's say I wouldn't even believe her in the first and second time. But if Pip had made that like multiple times, like 3 or 4 times in one day, yeah, after third or fourth time, Misty would even she would like, uh, you got me, and it might just leave the house or leave the lighthouse. So I say Pip would have been she would have been scolded by her friends, even her older sister, even at the hospital after the baby is born, that she never do that. And of course, Pip would regret it from doing it. But Misty might first of all freak out the first time she'd be told about it. Normally, anyone who's a new parents would. But the second time, she wouldn't might not even believe in that.
I didn't delete it. Not me. I don't
Even
know. I just
though
looked him up.
even though we know that Pip isn't that uh, she isn't that type of pony character that just messed around like that. But yeah, it's just it's something that most people should not do. Misty will definitely react negative. If she did it second time, Misty might have a hard to react, may had hard to believe in it, but she might think that's yet another prank of hers.
Oh, okay. Bum. Yeah, I'll give one as what is just things to try. Oh, almost just kind of like a bonus. This is only 2.
I might
Definitely find that.
probably end the stream around when I reach 2:45.
All right.
Those songs are actually not too bad, Cody. As sentimental songs, "Happily Ever After" from Steven Universe movie. So I see the movie itself, so that would not be a bad combination for the first song. But it's also a bit hard to say if that would have been accepted. Second one would have been "When Words Fail" from Shrek musical. Um, may have to say it's hard to tell for me to say. It's just had even never seen the actual musical. I only saw uh, only a brief clip from it where Shrek is interacting with his parents. So that's all I know of. But I hadn't even seen the actual uh, the musical, and even this spin-off of Shrek, Boots, Puss in Boots, those movies. I hadn't even seen those either. Oh, that's an interesting Mario. But but there is one Shrek movie I haven't seen. Well, basically no one has. Shrek 5, which is an upcoming movie though. So let's see here. Shrek 5.
I'll take two
Um
5 stars then.
let's see here. Shrek 5. It's supposed to be released on the movie theaters around 2025. And from what I can tell, um, at least from what I understand, in that movie, Fiona, Donkey, will not be part of it. It's it has been well, at least what I understand, at least that the first one I read about it, that the new movie, the original cast, only Shrek will be part of it. This was supposed to be taking place before he met them, and there's also the time when he moved to the swamp in the first place. And I don't know because I recently just checked, and it's apparently the whole original cast will be part of it. So Fiona, Donkey will be part of it, which I wasn't aware of. Then also, at the same time as Shrek 5 was revealed being in development in April 2023, it was revealed a spin-off movie but revolving around Donkey was also in early talks. There is even apparently um oh, never mind. Puss in Boots, the movie TV series, which I didn't see. I had seen the Halloween special of Shrek, where they are actually in the old castle of Lord Farquaad. They try to summon his ghost, which is or telling ghost stories. It's not a bad though, but it just it was not too bad, but it was a bit slow. And I had to learn to tell this. Lord Farquaad was actually his father is Grumpy, the dwarf. That's the reason why he's so short. And the mother is Princess who had the princess that slept on those mattresses who felt the pee under those mattresses. So he's actually part royal. So I don't know if that's true or not, but as it is, I think the Shrek movies are actually not too bad. Well, the last one they made when he traveled in time or something like that to make a wish, it kind of lost its touch, kind of.
The game crashed.
As usual.
That was gonna happen at some point. Let's get that back on.
The first song he put, "It Will Be All Mine" from Pokemon Live. I never heard of Pokemon Live before, and I actually saw this video on YouTube only about 2 days ago that Ash is returning in a new anime movie, but apparently it's they have put two movies in as in one. I don't know if there's because when I saw it, I was like, what? At first, I thought that's gonna be a new series based on Ash and Pikachu. I mean, how that's possible? I mean, if there was going to be a new series of Ash and Pikachu, because only about a year ago, Disney company, like Pokemon company, announced officially that Ash is gonna be retired and being replaced by Liko and Roy as the characters. So I was like, okay, what? But it turned out they weren't that. Even though I heard from Cody
Let's see what
Darkhawk,
it is.
who said something about that Ash might actually
Oh
appear
yeah,
in this
that's a
in
Mario.
some form of anime later on, if it was in the news series. I have no idea. But I think that actually the newest series is, I have to admit, this a lot better than I expected to be. They are looking for this paradise place in the world. And it was actually mentioned by the name, but I don't remember it. It's just, but they never showed it. It's like actual show this paradise world. In that in this ancient traveler named Lucius, he traveled along with six Pokemons, which two of them, Entei and the Galarian Moltres, which he captured by Pokeballs. And Fightgod said, "How that even possible? Because they are legendary Pokemon." Well, it's not like impossible. Even though Go has his own legendary Pokemon that he captured. What was it called again? Suguni? Is kind of blue dog? That like a healing water type? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but it's, and Coda's fourth song is "Wish to Be," which is uh also from the Shrek the Musical. Never heard of that song.
I'm so
Oh, I'm tired.
I'm so gone. I'm so general. I really hope Cody knows what that's from because that movie is so good.
Which one?
The Year Without a Santa Claus. Such a good movie.
Hmm. I don't think I heard of that one before.
It's so good. It's like one of those I don't know if you've ever heard of the studio. I forget what it's called, but it's like this basically this studio that does like puppet animation, kind of like claymation. Their style is very unique. Their humor is so good.
Hmm. Yeah, it still does ring a bell.
Yeah, they did their like own version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer too. Everyone in that movie is such a jerk. It's so good.
It's
Just
possible.
everyone's mean in the movie, and I don't know why. It's great. It's
Hmm. Have you seen the movie Big before?
a very promising title. But no, I have not seen Big.
Well, it's Tom Hanks is playing the role.
Big the Cat.
Well, that movie is about how Tom Hanks is playing as a teenage. He is a teenage guy, a teenage boy, with his friend at this carnival, and they came across this kind of fortune teller machine, and Tom Hanks' character wished that he wanted to be big. And the next day, he ended up being as a full-grown adult, and he had to leave his house because his parents may not have accept would not believe otherwise the story. And of course, he managed to figure out where this fortune telling machine is next. and wish you back to be young again, which happens.
That's John Mario.
It's and he even plays a keyboard in the movie, but not by hand, but on feet. There's like this giant version on the floor where he's dancing or playing on. It's kind of funny though. It's back from the 80s. It's before my time. Hey.
That star down there? It is.
So, Cody, what's
Don't ask
the
if you can see
other
that.
songs you have in mind?
You ready to see the greatest jump you'll ever see in your life?
All right.
So am I. You can make it over there! Yes, I'm fine.
Barely.
I made it. That's what the matters, right? Right?
Grugar's Plan song. Be prepared. Oh, The Lion King. No,
Now,
that.
that's a good song.
Definitely. Though, the original movie is good. Lion King 3.5,
One and a
which,
half.
yeah, it's called 3.5, where Timon and Pumbaa are telling their backstory, how they actually met. Uh, I admit there were some funny parts in the story in that movie, but it wasn't really. They didn't have the same humor as the first one did. The second one, when he met Simba's pride, it
That
was
come from.
actually that was not that too bad. But that last one, I had to say it's not 50-50, more like uh 2080. That good where it was, but to some of the original Disney movies that's been out, it's not too bad from over the years. But the Lion King version, live action, ugh, hardly even seen that, and not going to.
It's not
It is
good.
actually, though there is one movie that I actually enjoyed. I saw the first time I was much younger. It's about two dogs and a cat. They in the first movie they were being want to be put in a kennel while the family is on vacation, but they managed to escape from the airport, traveling across the country all the way back home in San Francisco. And the sequel was also not too bad. But only this difference is that when it comes to live action, it depends on from which one it is. I mean, from depend on from which franchise they're made from, and uh, my love for Spike, instrumental music from the that distant shore from the universe, Steamy universe. Um, the song doesn't ring a bell to me. I mean, it had been a while since I actually seen. It had been a while since I've seen the actual Steven Universe, so I might have forgotten about it. But not bad choice. Not bad choice on that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, end off with the most annoying level. Why not?
And the seventh song is "You Can't Beat Me" from Pokemon Live. Still, no, never heard of that one though.
Stop.
That's still not bad choice.
Somehow I knew there would be one there. Right.
I wonder what Malekith's up to.
I don't know. He's probably still cooling down from the situation.
Mm-hmm. It will make sense.
Uh, question. What? Like I'm asking this because it was literally in the title, and I guess I wasn't really paying attention. What's the topic for the game show stream again for tomorrow?
Movies.
Alright.
Yeah, it might be tomorrow. That also depends on if there are enough hours left, though. Otherwise, it might be until next week. I have to see afterwards. Well, I can go for a little bit longer, but then I have to end the stream. Almost 3 hours.
All right.
And the eighth song, Bright, from the Steven
Mario plays.
Universe movie. I don't remember that particular song. It just, I mean, it's a bit hard to tell, but I think since the word about a while ago as I saw the movie, you know, I saw this Pixar Fairy video on YouTube today actually, where that some people believe Riley from Inside Out is a younger half sister to Andy from the Toy Story movies. But it's not
It's
really
possible, but
yeah, because here's the thing. From the first movie until the last one they made, from the last one that the family appeared in the fourth movie, we had never seen of Andy's father. Never mention of him, never seen of him. So it's presumed that his mom um, was either divorced or they were never actually married. Is that Riley would have been the same age around as Andy's youngest sister, around roughly the same age. It's because in the theory that I saw about the movie is that Riley's Andy's mom, Mrs. Davis, noticed that um, is that Andy's father have even the same. It's what was it? Right. They had it almost the same hair colors and all that. And so I don't know, but there's even another fairy video. Is that Riley's parents isn't her biological parents? That she might be adopted. Because there are two things that might be pointing out. First of all, in her dream world, in her dream, what she had in her family is that her family tree, and her name is the top of the tree, and not of any of her parents above her. Another small detail that both the mother and the father both the parents are brown hair and brown eyes, while Riley herself is blonde and blue-eyed. It's I have to say it's not necessarily saying that she might not even be not necessarily had to be adopted, because it's possible either from either the family it could have been had blonde hair and blue eyes, and then one of the parents could have also been could have been uh, brown hair and brown eyes. So it's possible that either of those things can be passed down. Let's say, for example, if the whole family, as far as I can tell, like great grandparents, and had been blue-eyed and blonde hair, and one of the parents later on in the future, Riley's mom is brown hair, brown hair and blue eyes, while her father is also brown hair and brown hair and brown eyes. and despite his own parents might or his grandparents might also be blonde and blue eyes. Sometimes it can skip in generations, and that might be the reason why she ended up like that. But it's it's a fairy though, and that also this I don't remember his name, but this elephant or the supposed imaginary friend. Um, some people believe
Bing bong.
that he's ping pong. He's actually a monster from Monsters Inc. And that well, actually, his impression of her childhood memory of the monster, because as in the Monster Inc., when they realized that laughter is much stronger than screams as a power source, and and since since Riley had ping pong as an imaginary friend when she was growing up, so is it possible that she got the impression of him while she was young, but she had him interact with her to collecting laughter as part of his quota, and that impression of him had stuck in her memory, and that she came up with this imaginary friend of ping pong or ping pong. So it's possible in that sense that he could be a monster from Monster World. And another thing is about the girl Boo, is that one of the children or one of the kids from the daycare that Bonnie is from, going to from Toy Story 3, actually might even be Boo when she is a bit older, and that she is also going to the same school as Riley. And they look like almost identical, but it's also just a theory. This is a true feeling based on the Shrek the musical. That was a good music song though. Oh, Game Guy, do you probably have seen
Hmm?
uh the Emperor's New Groove,
Yes.
where like
I love that movie. It's so dumb.
when she's like, pull the lever, Kronk, strong lever. Yes.
And of course, we can't you can't talk about New Groove without saying the best Gronk line, which is of course, oh yeah, it's all coming together now. It's great. Seriously,
Even though
that line is all over the place. It's amazing.
yeah, and especially when uh Curso and what is his name again? The farmer, when
I
they are
don't
actually
remember.
when they're tied together, and it's like when he realized and says uh waterfall, yep, or something like that, and they're like that conversation. I both realized a waterfall like that. That was just great. Oh my god, that was just good one. And the last song, Pure, sang by The Volvinator and Magpie Pony. Ooh, now that's not that bad one. Based on the Kung Fu Panda 3
How to
as
get
the
there in
edit
the
credits.
first place?
The Volvinator, or also as Vespio. Now
I don't fucking know.
he is
I'm gonna go fight Bowser.
that is one person or person I recognize by name. That's one of the Brony communities. One of big people actually. His wife, Katie Patterson, even as her
And
Pony
his
OC,
wife?
Midnight Sonata, is not actually a pony herself. She's actually um, like a zombie, but more like an actual intelligent zombie, or ish. How to say it, but also that Thespio proposed to his wife at the BronyCon back in 2017, or was it 2018? The lot of things like something like that. It was actually not bad. I know also that Commander Firebrand even proposed to Aramau, his now current wife, also at the BronyCon, and that is another thing. So, and the way how Lost Narrator was proposed to Magpie Pony by using an actual pony plushie with her, with having her proposal uh, recorded in as a message. That was really original, a whole idea. And the Lost Narrator and Magpie Ponies are actually not too bad people as YouTubers. They're making both for making really good content in their channels. The same for many others like Dr. Wolf, uh, Lightning Bliss, Silver Quill. Oh, who cannot forget Silver Quill or MLP Silver Quill? He is just a hilarious guy. He is making this shipping jokes, and he is actually a hippogriff as a character. The original, very first hippogriff that for the actual hippogriff was even part of the series. That is not too bad. Ouch! I was hurt.
Not worry, I found the fact worse. I want you to launch me into that star. Launch me. Well,
Nope.
you know,
You're dead.
sometimes you make dumb mistakes in life.
Mm-hmm.
Such as that.
Princess Trixie Sparkle. Yeah, that one. I actually seen the first season, but I haven't seen the second one. I honestly, I don't know if they actually completed the second season yet. It's possible, but at the same time, I don't know. Oh,
Wait, there we go. Alright, let's not do anything now. Let's just wait for the stupid bird thing. Where is... There he is. Lepto.
oh. Well, I can also tell you that during the day, I actually had made a lot more. I found a new channel that has a lot of cryptids, and I write down some new questions that has not been put on a computer yet, but on a paper. Tour of what was it? What was it?
Okay, you didn't see that, but Mario clipped to the ground when he grabbed the star because he was in the tornado, which definitely not how that works. So okay.
Here we go. Let's see here. The total questions that I came up with on paper was
okay. I don't know what happened there.
Total of 56 questions on that one. So that will be like, so far I have 1,161 questions on paper just on cryptids. That's a lot of questions.
That's definitely a lot.
That's a lot of them. Yeah.
What's going on with this thing? I just long jumped in, that spider just died. Because that's clearly how that works.
Well, Cody, you can probably do that. You can probably make your own original songs also, but it can be tricky to come up with some good songs. Trust me. I when I made my own original songs as a gift to Fire Gods, it can be tricky depending on what song you want to use. I mean, I just don't have can listen to some songs and get inspiration and use that song's lyrics and basically using that lyrics as like a model or template to make my own. Not I'm not like copying the words. I think it just get the inspiration what s- type of things I will use in the song. It can be tricky and also well, I mean, if they're a parody song, I mean, if they were part of the like, if you're using the original song but putting some parody songs, parody words, different words, and using different title, then it wouldn't be any problem with copyright. I think at least for just you never know. Boy.
And of course, it's the highest it can be. Cool, why not? Swim upward, Mario. Mario, where are you going? Get up. Wait. Did I? Did I already do this one? I don't even remember. Guess we're about to find out. The coin color is messing with me because I feel like we had this color before. Nope, we didn't get it yet. Cool. Or I didn't get it yet. Do I risk this? Yes, I do.
Well, Cody, you just can always ask them for any advice. I will probably do the stream for a few more minutes down to land.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cody, I'm about to end the stream in a few minutes. That will reach past 3 hours, even though it was supposed to be not this long, but so you know.
Sorry,
I will see if there will be a stream tomorrow. It depends on if I had enough hours left. I don't know, but if I do, I'll probably see that on YouTube next tomorrow.
I need an actual level.
Well, I'm tired.
I said an actual level, not a bad level.
See, I got it.
I got it. Yo, race me. I'll fade the last stars and Tiny huge island. Did the timer just stop for a second? Swear to God, it just did. I'm losing it. I tried to go around that Goomba. God, I hate the fact that it was just on the bridge. Cause why not, I guess. Lethal Lava Land. I'm fine with this. Okay. Where is the star that's pretty easy to get around here? Hey, the background's actually the right background. Look at that. Hey. Yeah, that one will do. Cool. All right, so that's the last Mario seed, and I think that Mario's kind of growing on me. 4, 7, 7, 7, and an extra 7. And that's hold on. All right. Oh, that was fun.
Keep the door open
Yeah,
while I'm
fun.
gone, please. For the dog off for the cat.
And you hit my computer.
I love you. I'll be back soon.
It's a long story. But anyway, yeah, that was fun.
Well, everyone, hope to see you, perhaps see you all tomorrow. Depend if you've had enough hours left. If not, then it will be next week, where it has been reset. But that won't be like the April the 12th, since the reset's on the 11th each month. So yeah, that has been a bit funnier than usual, even though it was suspected was at least originally planned to be a game show stream, but it didn't. That since we ended up talking about what happened on the stream yesterday on Discord, so that backfired.
Oh, it was technically Wednesday, but
True. Well, everyone. So yeah, I hope you have so far a good Friday, but for me, it just start a Saturday, so it's gonna be fun.
rest of your day,
As
I
always.
guess. Anyway. We'll see you next time.
Well, see ya. This is Switch Double signing off. Bye.
And goodbye.